Good afternoon, everybody. This is Ahmed. And yes, that was a real concert that I attended to yesterday. Not any concert that we're, of course, familiar with in the States. Big, raging, with complete lights. Nonetheless, something better than just sitting around here. It was a concert in one of the more fancier compounds around Jeddah. And it was an all-American band with an Irish bass player. So, this marks the 7th week, and I don't know if I'm gonna be doing this on a weekly basis or more every 2 weeks, whatever. But at least it keeps me in touch with my friends over on the other side of the world. So we'll take it from the top as far as what has happened this week. Fun stuff. Start with the usual stuff with work. It's getting a little better. The physicians are starting to accept me. Nurses are starting to get to know me. The patients are difficult. We have some really nasty bugs. I mean, I think some of our infectious disease specialists would love to see some of the stuff we have around here. And I've been putting in quite a bit of hours, and it's not a big deal. I'm enjoying it. Finally got my iqama, and what my iqama is basically, here we go. What my iqama is basically a card that's saying that I am now property of Saudi Arabia. And the only thing in English, of course, is my name and the King of Saudi Arabia Ministry of Interior. It does say that I'm a pharmacist and that I'm from the United States, which is good. I kind of need that in case I get into trouble. Next, we went to a fancy little place uptown called Taif. Long story short, beautiful weather, usually as disgusting. Trash everywhere. There's bamboos in Saudi Arabia. Didn't know if you guys knew that. I didn't know that. But there are bamboos, and they're quite fierce. Very nasty things, but quite fun to see. And while I was up there, I was able to get a hold of one of my coffee mugs. And probably a lot of people are aware that I'm a big fan of coffee mugs. So we got the camel. And Saudi Arabia, can someone get me coffee? And another camel. I would guess this is made in China, but it says it was designed exclusively for Saudi Arabia. Now where it's made? Oh yeah, and it's called the Camel Corner. There you go. So that's the fun stuff I had last week. Work is work, of course. Had to take some late buses back home. And while I'm working, starting to enjoy really becoming a clinical pharmacist and becoming a critical care pharmacist, slowly building my expertise and whatnot. So of course there's always papers that I'm reading, trying to improve myself and so forth. And one cannot forget the technology, iPhones. Got probably tons of things on here to help me with my daily rounds and so forth. And then, as you guys know me, or maybe some people don't, I do like to prepare early, so I am studying for the BCPS. I know that there's a lot of people taking the BCPS on Saturday, which is tomorrow. Big shout out for those peeps. Good luck. I am, rooting for you. I wish I could be with you to help you to take the exam with you and do it together, but honestly, I didn't feel that I was ready or to take it. Things that continue to be in works, of course, are my salary. Work decided that, hey, we're gonna really not pay you, but we decided to pay you. So I'm still within my 90-day probation, which basically says if I don't like it or if there's some issue and I don't want to stay here in Saudi Arabia, I could split with no fees and no hard feelings or anything. So we're coming up on the 8th week mark in Saudi Arabia. So I hope that this issue is resolved this week. We had a barbecue the other day. I was able to find some pretty neat stuff, expensive but neat stuff, including this. Yes, that is a lifesaver. I love it. I eat probably one of those a day, and it helps me a lot to keep going. And even though I'm supposed to take lunch, but everybody knows the life of a pharmacist, you can't do that. So really, this whole week has been not too bad. I'm going to include some pictures. I'm not sure if I'm going to be quite fancy and able to throwing it in during the video or not, but we'll try my best. of the bus rides coming back. There was one where I, sitting at the very back of the bus, had my leg up on a kind of a semi-wall in the bus, or a partition. And as the bus is going, all of a sudden the AC unit decides to fall down, or the access to the AC unit decides to fall down in the middle of the bus. It's very lucky nobody got hurt. And the driver didn't even bother to take a look and see, hey, in the mirror, hey, something, it's dangling off the ceiling. Hey, it continues to go on. So I snapped a photo of it. Pretty funny stuff. And then, really, the highlight of my week was 2 days ago. So after you get your iqama, or your residence card, you try to go and get an equivalent of one of those, a Virginia driver's license. But not Virginia, of course, is going to be a Saudi. And so I had to prepare a ton of paperwork, who I am, am I really who I am, and who am I working for, and blah, 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 blah. Supposedly, there's a guy at work who's supposed to help us out with the paperwork. I go there, he meets me there. Of course, after half an hour of being lost and him being in the bathroom, oh, I'm sorry, I'm this and that, finally meet. I go in, the guy at the window, which we call the translation window, because English is such a hard language to read, you need to have a translator, which you would assume is a competent person, decides to translate my license, which he takes 100 reals for, which is about 30 bucks, which is expensive, but okay, whatever, okay, I'll get to drive, I don't have to ride the bus, I get to move around a little bit more freely. Fine, not a big deal. Even though traffic around here is insane. DC is heaven compared to what I go through here. He looks at the license, and as a lot of you know, I drive a motorcycle. So he looks at the license. As you can see, there's a Class M, and he turns back. Oh, motorcycle. This is not a driver's license. This is a motorcycle license. No, sir. This is a driver's license with the privilege that I could ride a motorcycle. No, 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 no. This is a motorcycle license. You don't know what you're doing. Sir, with all due respect, this is my license. I've been pulled over on a motorcycle and a motor vehicle. This is 2-in-1. It tells you could drive a car and a motorcycle. This went on for about 15 minutes. The guy then looks at the other dude and decides to insult me. He says, do you speak Arabic? No, not good Arabic. He looks at the other guy and is like, he's a liar. He speaks Arabic. And because he's lying, I'm not going to help him. I was going to let it go, but I'm not going to help him. So, of course, that ruined my day. I went out storming and this and that. I went back to my boss. I'm like, you guys are a bunch of, there's a bunch of clowns running the equivalent Department of Motor Vehicles over in downtown Jeddah. He calls up my assistant, the guy who's supposed to help me out with the license and this and that. And finally, they're like, okay, could you send us some documents? I'm like, sure, we could have done that a long time ago. We could have done it at the department itself. They got internet. All they got to do is search for it. So I sent them documents, and we'll see what happens. There's a resident here, medical resident, Department of Neurosurgery, that is a big car enthusiast as well. So we're going to go out, and surprisingly, he's not married, because people get married here early. I mean, we're talking about 19, 18. They're already married. So he's about 26 and he's not married. So he's just chilling around. He's like, hey, you want to go and check out some cars? Get an idea of what the market is? I'm like, sure, why not? I mean, I would rather study, tell you the truth, and sit here. It is, as you could see, here's the window. Out there, it is just blazingly hot. I got 2 ACs in a 600-foot square apartment and drink a cold drink. And still, and if anybody's wondering what Pepsi Diet or Diet Pepsi looks like in Arabic, there you go. So, that is what's going on today. I know it's a long video. Gonna wrap it up with some pictures, just random pictures here and there. Hopefully it will be a better one than the last time where it was just one long picture for no apparent reason. And I need to take a picture of one of my neighbor's cats. We have a cat here. I call him, I believe, 3-legged. And I'll show you why next time. Keep sending me the emails. I look forward to everybody sending me back emails, suggestions for maybe improving. I'll try to snap as much pictures as I can. And I'll wrap it up with some other tunes. I know some certain individual may like a tune that I'll put on at the very end here. And please keep in touch, be safe. And I'm missing the fall. I really miss the fall. Over outside right now, it is blazingly hot, and we are knocking on October, or we're practically in October right now. So, and of course, a big shout out to my sister. She's 18, the youngest one, 18. So that makes all of us adults in the family. And I know I don't act like one, and probably neither do they. So I wish I was there to celebrate with her. So I'll talk to you guys later, and